Hello everyone, we're out on the range today. Look what we got here. Mossberg Shockwave. We're going to try to get some shooting in before it rains. Let's see how she runs. If you've not seen these are really neat. Now they're not for everybody, and Lord willing, after we get done with the range, I'm gonna go back to the house and talk about it a little bit more. But I had seen these in a gun store, and my buddy Steve from New Hampshire asked me about these and asked me if I'd ever shot one, and I said no. I told him I liked them. I've been in the gun store, I've held them, but I've never actually fired one. He said, would you like to? I said, sure. So I bragged on the gun community and bragged on you guys. You guys never cease to amaze me. So Steve from New Hampshire sent this to me, sent this to my FL dealer, and I got it just the other day. He told me to keep it, shoot it, make video with it, and just enjoy it. Then I'm going to ship it back to him. And he was even going to offer to send me some ammo. But just a great guy. This is pretty neat little gun here, and it's just a lot of fun, but it's got some pros and cons that we're going to get into. But what I was shooting in the intro was just simply the Winchester Super Target. I think it was number 8 shot. But I've got some bird shot, I've got some buck shot, I've got some slugs. We're going to put it through its paces. I believe this little gem here holds 6 rounds of 2 3/4. Now the 3-inch, I do have some 3-inch slugs that I'm going to try. I don't know the capacity. I would say it'll cost you at least one with the 3-inch. I haven't tried it yet with the 3-inch, but 6 rounds in a little small package like this, I tell you, easy to get around, easy to maneuver. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you, buddy. Man, this is awesome. I've just got up here to the range. I've just fired probably 15 rounds. All I've fired with this thing, including the 6 you see in the video, because we're trying to hurry before it rains. My little girl was up here. She was going to do some shooting with the MAC-10, but she bailed on us. So hopefully we'll get some shooting done before it rains. But Mossberg Shockwave. Let's get to some shooting. Now at the intro, you see me shooting down here to the side. Now this actually does have a bead on it, so you can aim. But I'm not endorsing this. I'm not telling you to try this. Matter of fact, don't try any of this at home. You shoot at your own risk, but especially if you're new to firearms, you need to be at the range under the supervision of maybe a firearms instructor. But this shotgun, I love it. It's awesome, but it's not for everybody. So you've got to realize you got to know your firearms and know your capabilities. When you aim like this, you're not going to have a stock to absorb this recoil. So please be careful. Like I said, you shoot at your own risk. Don't imitate anything you see in these videos. This is just review of this gun for entertainment purposes. But now I'm going to actually try to aim this time, and I'm going to put some 9 pellet double lock buck into these water jugs. Let's see how the Mossberg Shockwave does against water jugs. We're going to try the same drill again here with the Mossberg Shockwave. I think I failed to mention, but this is 12 gauge. This is a 2 3/4. Now we're going to try it with a 1 ounce rifled slug. Let's see how it does against these water jugs. This was off camera, you didn't see it, but the jug I missed, after the camera was shut off, he started laughing at me. So I thought, I'll fix his little red wagon. So this time, this thing, like we said, does accept 3-inch shells. So this is a 3-inch 12 gauge rifled slug, 1 ounce ball. Let's see if we can't teach this guy a lesson. At the beginning of the video, I was showing you that basically this would run even the low brass target rounds just fine. But really this gun, in my opinion, is designed more for anti-personnel, home defense type situations. So in case you didn't want to run double aught buck or 1 ounce slug in this shotgun here, what I've done is I got some number 5 shot high brass. I think it's more realistic if you're going to use bird shot for home defense. So let's try some high brass bird shot. Like I said, number 5 shot into some water jugs here, and let's see how this thing runs. It's getting dark, it's getting cloudy. Just to end this segment, the first water jug that I'd shot, I just nicked the top of it. And now I don't edit videos. Like I said, I want this to be a real range review. Really my performance. It's my first day with it. So if I was going to use it for a shotgun and I was going to use it for home defense, I would definitely have to practice with it, because I'm always used to, of course, the stock and the bead, and it's just so you know, like I said, this probably isn't going to be it's still 12 gauge. I'm not saying you couldn't use this for hunting. This is probably not going to be a hunting rifle. It's probably going to be up close and you know, very close quarters combat. But still, you need to practice with it, need to train with it. But just to end this segment out, there's that one that I had missed or just nicked the top of it. It's only half full or half empty, depends how you look at it. But I'm just going to just have some fun. And like I said, let me say this real quick. Before we started filming, my wife shot this, and she was able to run it. So there is some recoil to it. It is 12 gauge, but like I said, I wouldn't be too afraid of it. Because it's a great little gun, great little firearm, and I'm going to go back home and talk about it just for a minute. But no matter what I shot through it, the low brass, the high brass, the double lock buck, or the slugs today, we did not have one malfunction. It cycled perfectly, it's ran perfectly. This is I'm a big fan. I love this. Thanks again, Steve. Let's get to some shooting. Not bad. We're back from the range. Just want to talk about this gun here a little bit. This is kind of new to me. We absolutely loved it. It was a great joy. Again, I want to thank Steve from New Hampshire for sending this down. He had nothing to gain by this. He just knew that I love guns, and he thought I might enjoy shooting it and doing a review with it, and I have. I've had a blast with it. Thank you again so much. And I told him I'd do my best to give an honest review, and that's what I'm going to do. Even like on the shots where I miss, I want to be honest. I want to be have a real live video, like you're actually there with me. If I miss, I miss. And the reason I miss, it was not the gun. It's I mean, this is a Mossberg. It shoots great. The whole time we was there, we shot target loads, bird shots, 8 shot, 7.5 shot. Then moved on later to the high brass, 5 shot. We shot double lock buck. We shot slugs with the shot 3-inch. We shot federal, Winchester, even some Fiocchi, double lock buck. We shot Winchester, like I said, Remington, federal, everything this thing ran just like a champ. And I do know with different shotguns, they pattern different. The point of aim may be different with double lock buck or with a 1-ounce slug. So if you choose this for a home defense weapon or a truck gun or whatever, that may be something to take into consideration. But that was not the cause of me missing. The reason I missed was not the gun. It's just a little, you're used to, a stock, at least I am. So it's just kind of a different feel. It's kind of a different, sight picture. But if you could train with it, you could get really good really fast. And that would be something that I would certainly have to do. If I used this, I would have to certainly train with it. And the reason I shot it both ways, now some people may disagree with aiming like this. Even though it's got a bead, some people may disagree with putting it down on the side. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. You do what's best for you and your family. Because some people, would really be beside themselves if they think you didn't aim, but you did have it, down on your hip. But I could argue where I think both cases could come into play, and this, to me, is the ultimate for a close quarters battle like home defense. You can maneuver, you can cut corners. It's very easy to maneuver, manage, manipulate. Now the follow-up shots, at least for me, isn't near as fast on this gun as a regular shotgun. And you can watch the videos, it did have some recoil, but the recoil wasn't the problem with the follow-up shots. It's me trying to get back on sight. Again, it's a little bit awkward for me, but you can probably do that with practice. And different people do things different. Like Scott from Kentucky Ballistics, he's got an optic on his Canic and on his pistol, and he asked me, he said, have you ever tried it with a holographic on a pistol? I said, no, I've got one on my AR, but not my pistol. And he said, try it. And man, he could grab that gun and he could just knock the steel down. He was fantastic with it, phenomenal with it. I tried it. I had a hard time finding the dot. I wasn't any good at all. And he said this takes practice. It just takes getting used to. So, and that may be the case with this. But it took me a while to kind of get on target and on sight. But I think that's just a training issue. And like I said, this holds 6 rounds, 5 and 1 with 2 3/4. That's a lot of firepower in a small package like this. And I didn't show you this at the range. A side saddle here. So those of you that like extra ammo, just in case, you take 6 rounds, 6 in the side saddle. That's 12 rounds, double aught buck or slugs or birdshot or whatever you run in this gun. And this is an ultimate home defense weapon. This is amazing. Also, if you're in the woods, you could actually put this in your back, like on a backpack and like a sling. You wouldn't even know what's back there. If you go camping, whether you're in your tent or a camper, you could slide this. This doesn't really take up any place. This side saddle was really easy to come off. It was off when he shipped it to me. I put it back on. This is just a phenomenal little weapon. Again, I don't want to. I do want to caution you and warn you, about being careful with it, especially if you're new to firearms. This is my opinion. This is my 2 cents. This is not really a beginner's gun. This is for more of an advanced shooter, more somebody that's used to 12 gauge. This was hadn't really been around firearms much, or maybe you're marrying somebody that hasn't been around firearms much or whatever. This may not be the best choice for a first-time gun for somebody for home defense. They can work up to this and get used to this. That's probably fine. So I don't want to scare you off from this, talking about the recoil or the aiming. I'm just trying to give you my honest opinion and review of this gun. Like I said, my wife shot it. She didn't have no problems. But my wife shot a lot of guns. She shot a lot of big caliber guns, big bore revolvers, shotguns, 3-inch Magnum. She shot 45-70. She shot 454 Casull. She shot a 44 Magnum. She shot big rifles, big shotguns. So she's used to it. So I'm not saying a woman can't or beginners can't, but just something to kind of caution you, because I don't want to scare you off of it, the possibility of using this. But I'm just trying to give you my honest opinion. Like I said, for me, I had no problem like this. It just took me a while to get back on target, and like this, man, you can really pump out the lead. All in all, this is a Mossberg, and I don't mean to be brand specific, but the facts are the facts. Pretty much, in my experience, in my opinion, everybody I've known, talked to, everybody that's ever had one, if it says Mossberg, it's going to run for you. And the point I was trying to make when we had the coffee chat with Buffalo, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a quality home defense shotgun. Buffalo was talking about him using the Maverick. It's very inexpensive, but it runs. And I wasn't trying to knock High Point or talk about run anybody down that uses a High Point, because it's not about the money you spend, it's about the quality. But what I'm saying is, me and my wife has taught the concealed carry course here in Kentucky for years, and we've seen every gun, make, model come through. And in general, now I know people thinks firearms can't fail. I don't care what the firearm is, it can fail. If it's man-made, it can fail. But I've seen Glocks fail, I've seen SIGs fail, I've seen revolvers fail. Not on YouTube, not hearsay, with my own eyes, I've seen them fail. But in general, revolvers run. In general, Glocks run. In general, SIGs run. To be honest with you, we have seen a lot of failures. So you can train with it, like Scott from Kentucky Ballistics said at our coffee chat. You can train with it and get good with it, but you need to make sure you get a quality firearm to defend your family and your life. Something that's going to run for you, something that when your life depends on it. And I'm not telling you anything I wouldn't tell my family, my friends, or anything that I wouldn't use. I would trust my life to a Mossberg. Now, whether it's the Shockwave like this or one with the stock like the Remington, the Mossberg. I would trust my life with this Mossberg. Now, whether this is the Mossberg Shockwave like this one, or where it's the Mossberg 590 or 590A1, basically, or the Maverick like Buffalo uses, Mossbergs are going to run for you, as it did today. And like I said, we had no malfunctions. It ran everything I put through it. This was a dream, and I appreciate the opportunity of getting to review this. And like I said, to cut corners, to maneuver, this thing is phenomenal. And I didn't have a whole lot of water jugs today. We've been doing a whole lot of shooting, but I really wasn't testing the slugs capabilities with the buckshot's capabilities, because I think we're all in agreement that slugs and buckshot are capable out of a 12 gauge for home defense. What I was testing was basically this shotgun, how I was able to shoot it, how it performed, how it ran. And again, a Mossberg for home defense shotgun, it ran flawlessly. So I'm a huge fan of this. I don't have this. This is not mine. Again, I'm going to send it back to Steve. But if you're looking for a home defense weapon, this may be a good choice for you. But like I said, we do want to make the disclaimer that we're not responsible for your choice. This is America. You choose what gun you want. And if you choose this, it's a great choice as far as it running, as it serving you well. There's not a doubt in my mind. But now you got to understand, this doesn't have a stock. It's a little different what you're used to, so you assume any risk. But again, Steve from New Hampshire, I don't know, really, there's nothing I can say. Words cannot describe how I feel. You guys, I mean, loads of bacon, Thorzaks, Paul Harrell, Buffalo, Scott from Kentucky Bliss. I can go on and on and on. Steve here sending me this. You guys and everybody that watches these videos and comments, it just makes my day to hear from you guys. This is my hobby. I enjoy it. So, you know, this is the Mossberg Shockwave review. And like I said, you can take this saddle off if you don't want it. I personally like it. I think it's pretty neat. It doesn't interfere with shooting or anything. It's got a good grip here. I mean, you can really, and this is what I like about Mossberg. Now, I've got a Remington 870 I give to my dad. I've got a Benelli in there. But me personally, I like where the safety is on this Mossberg. I don't have to feel, I don't have to try to find a button that's close to the trigger guard. I mean, whether it's day, night, my eyes are closed, you can't miss that button. And it's a real good safety on and off. There's no, I think it's on, I think it's off. There's no play there. It's just either on, off, on, off. I mean, it is a very good safety. I really love this gun. I think it's phenomenal. Like I said, I'd have to train with it. It'd take me some practice, but this is a really fine little weapon. I think this is just really kind of revolutionized kind of the home defense style. Something you don't see every day. But I'm going to clean it good and send it back to him. And again, thank you so much. Appreciate you watching. If you like what we're doing, like, subscribe, share with your friends. And I'm going to say this real quick, and we're getting off here, but again, Steve didn't have any reason to send this to me. He didn't own a gun store. He don't have any stock in Mossberg. He just watched this channel and thought I might like it, which I did. And that's the same thing. Anything I say or do on here, I don't have an ulterior motive. I'm not making money. I don't own stock in any company. I'm telling you how I honestly feel, and we're trying to make the range as honest as we can, try to make these videos as honest as we can, and we want you and your family to stay safe. But I have no reservations in telling you, like I said, I'd have to practice with it, but this or any other Mossberg, I would trust with my life, whether at camping or for a home defense situation or the life of my families. Anything can fail, but these are reliable, and they're great. If you get a chance, check them out. Mossberg, great quality. May God bless you. The Kentucky Patriot, signing off.